Drew Brees, Nick Foles, Hudson Card, Baker Mayfield, and Cade Klubnik all played high school football in this district, but I don't know if any of them have ever done what you're about to see. Jordan Palmer breaking down the best 3 throws of the week every week. Here's number 3 on the list. So for this one, let's go down to Dripping Springs, Texas. And that district I'm talking about, District 26, Dripping Springs High School just moved from 5A to 6A so they could play against powerhouse programs like Lake Travis and like Westlake, and it's off to a hot start. And if you're gonna make that jump, you better have a gunslinger under center, and that's exactly what Dripping Springs has with Austin Novosad. This guy went 16 for 20, threw for 250 something, 4 touchdowns, and ran for 1. And that was in the first half, and it makes them 3-0. But it was this play in particular where I really like what I saw. Got to see him at Elite 11 this summer, now getting to see him in pads, play action, going left to right, front side, able to kick back, get turned at the top of this, and then enough velocity to be able to drive the ball down the field, but this thing drops right over the defender. They don't call touchdowns back for not spinning. That doesn't concern me a ton. What concerns me is accuracy down the field. Now, when you make that jump, 5A to 6A, wherever state you're in, 1, you better be confident enough to be able to play against the big boys, and 2, you better show up when the lights turn on. And this Baylor commit, Austin Novosad, did just that with the 3rd best throw of the week. For this one, we're gonna go to Detroit, Michigan. This is Martin Luther King Jr. High School taking on Cass Tech. MLK High School and Cass Tech, these are rivals, right? 1, and they're the 2 best teams in the city. And 2, they both have a bunch of Power 5 commits on both their teams. Quarterback from Martin Luther King Jr. High School, Dante Moore, says, "We really need to put our stamp on what this game meant, not only this year, but for the entire program." This was one of those, been talking about it, had it circled for years. Perfect, because it ended up being a great game. QB we're gonna focus on, Dante Moore from Martin Luther King Jr. High School. Committed to Oregon. This guy's the number 6 rated player according to 247. He's a 5-star, top 10 player, all that stuff. That's what all the rankings are on paper and on the internet. Let's take a peek at what he can do. He's under center. I love that right away. Hard play action, inside zone to his front side. Just freezes that safety long enough for the wide receiver to stem him outside, get vertical, keeps him perfectly in stride. 82-yard touchdown pass, and it allowed them to go ahead and win the game 28-23. Like I said, this is a rival game. How sick is that setup, by the way, right there in the city with the backdrop? Man, that's some big-time high school football and some very big-time players making very big-time plays. Of course, we're talking about Arch Manning. A lot of people are talking about Arch Manning, and we're gonna go for this one down to New Orleans, Louisiana. This is Benton High School taking on Isidore Newman. Arch here is down 18 points at half. The second half alone, he threw 4 touchdowns. Ends the day 23 of 38 for 317. Again, 4 touchdowns, and he ran for 1. So let's get into this play. So we see Arch Manning, he's 3 and a hitch. He's looking left. And by the time his eyes come back right, he's kind of got like a dig or an over route that ends up just taking a high angle. Again, it's 4th and 13 right here. Gotta have it. And at that point, you got to judge the receiver's speed and the angle and then be able to put the ball there exactly to keep him in stride, which is exactly what Arch does. He also, if he puts too much underneath it, he runs out of room out of the back. So this is just like a perfect throw for a lot of different reasons. But add on top of that, 4th and 13, add on top of that the expectations around Arch and the fact that they came back from down 18 for a rival down the street. So what was on the line and where the ball ended up, which is why this is the top throw of the week. Man, Isidore Newman 54, Benton 52, game winner, Arch Manning.